I knew a few of my brothers were using, shooting up. I don't know who they are. Um, I was working. Um, Come back from work one day and got dropped off. Um, Like dad bought our house. My mum and my sisters come and they sold it. They they did what they thought was best, and that's a whole other topic there. But I went downhill, spiraled out of control pretty quick. Um, all those community workers, well, we didn't have that discussion. Dad, when I was a teenage, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 maybe, used to take all the community workers out, corrective services. Um, a lot of people used to have to come there and do community hours from all nations, all over the world. Um, when I started using drugs, I didn't know, but a lot of them fellas, some of them fellas, were drug dealers. Well, you know, all sorts of people. And I really didn't have to pay for drugs. Yeah, I learned how to adapt pretty quick in life, and I did all right. I didn't really steal much. Did on the occasion, just because, yeah, we were hanging out or something fucking stupid. But that was, yeah, not too often. Had to do that, resort to that, but it was, if it was on the agenda, it was on the agenda, yeah. And that's how we did to survive, because and that's how they're doing it today to survive, you know. A lot of them are selling like drugs and shit. A lot of these young fellas coming out of prison, joining bikie gangs and fucking 20 years ago was unheard of. None of them gangs had nothing to do with black fellas. All they want them for now is muscle and to do their jail for them, because they know them black fellas are loyal and they won't dob anyone else in. And that's how the cookie crumbles, fellas. But in time, you'll understand. You'll make up your own mind and, you know, do what you have to do. If you know what's right, you'll go your own way, but you'll still be there, you know, with your people. Yeah, this generation is just lost all respect, and it's not their fault entirely too. It's not at all, because a lot of, yeah, people suffered bad. A lot of our grannies, in their missions and that, they were, you know, raped and fucking tortured and bashed. That's how they learnt to control. So that's what they perpetrated to their kids, and they didn't know. They didn't know how to be mum and dad. So the violence is there, the love is there, you know. The nurturers are there. But he's got to have that understanding that it's intergenerational trauma, and that's where it's come from. That's where it stemmed from. Because we know, share, care, respect, love. You know, and that's us. All them black fellas, you know, everywhere, they know to look after them from all around the world. They all know that the hierarchy. They know that where they sit within the tribes. It's really to start coming back and start acknowledging who you are, and we all got to find our positions in the tribe, and we got to come back together, because if we don't stand now for something, then we're going to fall for the rest of our lives for anything. And it'd be different if you're standing up telling bullshit yarns in the courtroom, pleading not guilty, saying you wasn't there, it's the removable evidence and all that shit. You're going to stand there and play that game with them in there. Then, I mean, people who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about, and my brother's in jail and shit. My family, all of them, all over Australia, all over the world, for petty shit, for shit that, some of them are serious. But that trauma, grew up in a system. That many brothers have died in the system. They're still dying. They're getting killed. They're hanging themselves. Mental health is a big thing. We are mental. We are suffering, and we're too proud to ask for help. People have lost interest in caring. Like, even my brother, like they're like, oh fuck, it pisses me off, my brothers, because these are dickheads. Fuck them. Let them sort their own shit out, We got to start stepping up to the plate too, because that's our role and who we are. We can't do that. We got to come back to earth. We got to stop being fucking papers. That's right. We've got to stop, just being straight out assholes, because that's not the right way. That's the white way. You just got to start going back to the right way. You know what it is, and we're letting them go. We're letting our own mob go. I know. I speak the truth. I don't have to try and whitewash anything. I was fucking one of the silliest, poxiest kids out. Even silly when I was on the drugs. But we don't have to keep doing that shit, But the same token, when you're living on the poverty line, you want nice things. You go and steal shit. But I don't agree with breaking into people's homes. I used to do businesses. I don't care. They were insured. And that was for wants, not necessities. It was just, I want them shoes what he's got. Everyone done it. They've done it all over the world. It's happening again. Still happening today. But there's opportunities to work, and it's good. But offer them engineering courses to do, shit like that. Tech. These mining companies should be, I don't know, probably are investing, but a lot of that money that they're investing comes from the money they give to the communities or the traditional owners of that area. So they're investing their own money back into it, but it's good because they're educating their people. This Swalts deal, this Nyunga claim is the biggest in Australia. What's it, 1 million a year or 50 million a year they're spending on us? Or they said, if you got a business idea, you know what? If you need money to help pay for a funeral, ring up Swalts. If your family's stuck, if you got a business idea and you want to be a rapper, and you can write some lyrics, and you want to buy some equipment, Swalts has got money there to help you pay for that. There's no excuses. Otherwise, you come looking for me and I'll point you in the right direction. I'll show you where to go. I'll tell you what to do. But we got to start standing together. We've got to, because you know what? I can't keep doing it on my own. Them oldies, they couldn't keep doing it on their own. How do you think we're going to end up in 10, 20 years if you just keep acting and behaving the way you do? Yeah. It's all happened before. But don't you want to be proud, man? Don't you want to fucking make these people acknowledge us for what they've done? And we don't have to wait another 200 years. This is the final frontier. This is the last place on earth to be colonized. This is the city of lights. Alright? If we started standing together and started 2029, you fellas, alright? We need to do something. We need to make these people accountable for what they've done. And I tell you right now, there were more white fellas there standing there with us. We had 35,000 young guys. You'd have 70,000 modulars standing with us. Probably more. And not just modulars, you got all them other black fellas from all around the world. It happened to them, they know. Or we're going to stop being proud and stop being dumb. We can't keep blaming these waddlers for what the fuck happened to us. We can't keep bashing them. We can't keep... Some of them may need a bit of a touch-up. You know what? It makes us no better than them because that's who they are. And then we use it back on them and we go to jail. What it pisses me off. You know, last night I jumped on the train and this young little rookie Indian fella, transit guard, they just jumped on the train and they walked up, done the ticket check, just in that little section. I was sitting right at the end, and he goes, "You got a ticket?" I said, "No." And he started writing down my details, give him my details. "You got any ID?" "No." Give him my details. Well, the first thing this little punk does, as soon as he's got my details, is jump on the mic, jump on the radio, and starts checking for bench warrants and shit. And I can't handle that. No one can. That's disrespectful. Like, you're painting us with the same brush, all right? Because we fucking painted with the same fucking brush, doesn't matter. But this little rookie, and I got angry and I got pissed off with him and I ripped him up and I said to him, "Fuck off down there." I said, "Don't you stand in front of me and do a name check in front of me." I said, "It's bad enough we're getting painted as with the brush. You're going to stand here." And I said to the senior officer, I said, "And you're going to allow for him to do this shit." Okay? I think it was Chinese, Vietnamese, and young African fella, Indian fella. And it hurt me. But it made me sad too, because they've been brainwashed into doing that. They know we all jumping trains, and why the fuck should we fucking be buying tickets anyway? But we do. We don't want to get a fine. That young fella, he started checking my name up, but I sent him up the other end of the train. And I told the young Asian fella, "Look," I said, "why are you teaching him bad habits for?" And I didn't go off and carry on, and I didn't raise my voice shouting around. I said, "You're teaching him bad habits." I said, you was taught those habits, and now it's been passed on to these rookies now, to these young fellas now. And I made him go up the other end of the carriage and he did a name check, and then he filled out a little form, and then he's gone, yeah, then that little mana fella, he went and grabbed a ticket and brought it back to me. I was listening to music, I tried to say something, I just go away. I know what I'm going to hear. You know how to deal with it, you're fine, yes, blah, 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 10,000 of them. just before I reached my destination, I thought to myself, I'm going to go and apologise to this young chap. And I'm going to explain to him why I told him to do that, and I didn't. And we got to learn to be patient with some of these wettlers because they're real dumb, they're real mummage, hardwire. And not just them, the other black fellas too. They know what's happened to us. They're understanding. But this experience is raw to them because they've been there 400 years in Africa and wherever them other places. Those experiences they're experiencing with us, and it's new to them. It's new to a lot of people. But it's old to us. Racism is not going to stop. The Freemasons and Illuminati, they're not going to give everything back. You get the mining companies, magnates, all these people who have just, made billions and trillions of dollars. And